$1,247. That's your balance, not your savings. Your balance. You check it at 11:43 p.m. Lying on a mattress you bought secondhand off Facebook Marketplace. You check it again at 11:44. The number doesn't change. You have $31,000 in student loans, $4,200 on a credit card, and a direct deposit that hits Friday that is already spent. You are 23 years old. You are not behind. You tell yourself you are not behind, but every grocery run is a calculation. You put the olive oil back. You buy the store brand. You split a streaming password with someone you don't particularly like anymore because canceling feels like losing ground. This is what zero feels like. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just a low, constant hum of arithmetic running underneath everything you do. You don't talk about money. Nobody does at this level. But everybody is doing the same math. You watch your bank app more than your messages. You know your account number by heart. You move $200 to savings and move it back 3 days later. This is the level where money is not a tool. Money is the air. Either you have enough, or you're already suffocating, and you can't always tell which one it is. Rule 1, at zero, your relationship with money is entirely emotional, and emotional decisions compound in the wrong direction. You get the raise, not a big one, $6,000 a year before tax. Landing is $387 extra a month. You feel rich for approximately one afternoon. Then the car needs $900 in brake pads and rotors. You learn that expenses expand to meet whatever space you make for them. You pay off the smallest card, $1,200. You screenshot the zero balance. You send it to nobody because nobody would understand why this screenshot means what it means to you, but it means everything. Because for the first time, a number moved in the right direction. Because of a decision you made. That's the beginning. You cross $10,000 in savings for the first time. You're 26. You've never had 5 figures before, not once. You check the balance constantly for the first week, not out of anxiety this time, out of disbelief. You start reading, not self-help, not motivation, actual books about how money moves. You learn what an index fund is. You open a brokerage account and stare at it for 3 weeks before putting anything in. You invest $1,500. The market dips the next day. You almost pull it out. You don't. This is the moment you decide whether fear runs your decisions, or you do. The shift. You stop thinking about money as safety and start thinking about money as information. You're making $68,000 a year. You've got $40,000 saved. You have a Roth IRA you're actually contributing to. You feel stable. You're doing everything you were told. Max the 401k. Build an emergency fund. Avoid lifestyle inflation. And then you sit down and run the numbers honestly. All the way out. You type the projections into a spreadsheet at midnight and stare at what 40 years of disciplined saving at your current income looks like. The number at the end is fine. It is enough. It is not what you want. This is the competence plateau. You are good at surviving. You are not yet good at building. Rule 2. Salary is a ceiling dressed up as a floor. The moment you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. You start a side project. You don't call it a business. It makes $400 a month, then $900, then $1,700. You reinvest everything back into it for 14 months. You eat the same lunches. You don't upgrade anything. Your net worth crosses $80,000, then $110,000. The gap between where you are and where a salary alone would have taken you. That gap is where the leverage lives. Your investments return $3,800 in a single year without you doing anything. You've had months where your side income was higher than your paycheck. You know what an asset is now, not theoretically, physically, something you built or bought that earns while you sleep. Your relationship with time changes. Every hour spent on something that doesn't compound is an hour the machine isn't running. You cross $150,000 in net worth at 32. You have a rental property with $44,000 in equity, a brokerage account at $61,000, a business generating $6,200 a month. You still drive the same car. You don't tell people about any of this. You start saying no to things that used to be automatic yeses. A destination wedding, a group holiday, where you'd be subsidizing 3 people, a business opportunity from a friend who doesn't understand cash flow. No, no, no. You feel the friction in the relationships. You stay quiet and say no anyway. The shift. You stop spending money to maintain relationships and start protecting capital to build options. At $300,000, your money starts to have a personality. You've had one investment return $22,000 in 8 months. You've had one lose $9,400. You don't panic about the loss, because you understand this is the cost of being in the game. You reposition. Rule 3. Below $500,000, you are still buying assets. Above it, assets start buying each other. You are close. $670,000, $810,000. You restructure the business twice. bring on a partner, exit one investment, roll the proceeds into something bigger. You are 36, net worth $920,000. You stop sleeping as well as you used to. Not from stress, from intensity. You turn down a job offer paying $210,000 a year. Your parents don't understand. You tell them it didn't feel right. Then it happens. A Tuesday. Nothing ceremonial about it. The brokerage updates and the number is $1 million. You thought you'd feel different. You thought there'd be something. At $5 million, the game changes texture. It's no longer about building. It's about positioning. You are moving capital, not working for it. You are in a deal that will return $800,000 in 18 months. You are in another that might return nothing. You know the difference and you're in both anyway because one de-risks the other. You start meeting people at $20 million, $50 million. You study how they think, not what they own. The pace is different. The patience is longer. They are not trying to win each hand. They are trying to stay in the game longer than everyone else at the table. Rule 5. At $10 million, your reputation becomes a financial instrument. It earns returns independent of your decisions. You make decisions you would have described as morally complicated. 5 years ago, a company you're invested in restructures its workforce. 140 people. You review the cap table. You hold. The company's margin profile improves. Your position increases in value. You feel the distance. The thing that grows as the numbers grow. The gap between your decisions and their consequences widens quietly, and you don't resist it. Your net worth crosses $30 million. You are 54. You have structures that will outlive you. A trust that protects the assets. A foundation that costs $800,000 a year. You are invited places because of what you represent and what you can write a check for. You understand this. You don't pretend otherwise. Pretending costs energy, and energy is the only currency that doesn't compound. At $80 million, the isolation is not loneliness. It's a different problem. Your closest friendships are with people who operate at the same altitude, not by design, by natural selection of conversation. The things that absorb your attention simply don't translate to most people who knew you before. You give more than you ever have, not for reputation. You give because at this level, money has stopped being a measure of anything meaningful about you. And giving is one of the remaining things that still feels like a decision. Rule 6. Above $50 million, money stops measuring your worth. It starts measuring your reach. You are 61. Net worth, $94 million. The exact figure is known to 3 people. You have not worked a conventional day in 9 years. You have not stopped working. You think in cycles now. Demographic cycles, infrastructure cycles, credit cycles. You position ahead of them the way a sailor reads weather 3 days out. There is a board meeting. 5 people in a room with enough combined capital to reshape a mid-sized economy. You speak for 4 minutes. You ask 2 questions. The room moves around those questions. You leave before the lunch is served. This is power at its most compressed. No spectacle, no volume, just a room that calibrates to your position. And somewhere in this city right now, there is a 24-year-old opening a banking app for the first time. His balance is $1,247. He is standing in a grocery store doing the math. He puts the good coffee back. He thinks this is a story about money. He thinks if he just makes more of it, something will resolve. He doesn't know yet what has to resolve. He doesn't know what it will cost, not in dollars, in distance. In the gap that opens between who you are at the beginning and who you have to become to reach the end. The machine doesn't ask if you're ready. It opens every morning and takes whoever shows up. And whoever shows up consistently, patiently, without flinching. They compound. The money compounds, and so does everything else. The balance is $1,247. It always starts there. It always will.